Hello, everyone, and welcome to It's Your Season.Life podcast. I'm Lisa Boesen. I'm a certified vegan chef here in Fort Collins, Colorado. And today we're going to talk tofu, the other white meat. So, lots of things in the blogosphere and out in social media about protein and different ways to get your protein in. And today I really want to focus on tofu. Yeah, here I am, 66 years old, talking about tofu. I honestly thought that would never happen. My two most read blog posts on my current website still make me smile or laugh sometimes. One is how to help my spouse after open heart surgery, which I think is actually entitled 13 Ways to Help Your Spouse After Heart Surgery. And then a review of Trader Joe's plant-based Bulgogi. So I have a whole nother website called fomeat.com. to talk about the plant-based options that are out there, the good, the bad, and the not so good. Most of the time I share what's just really good. But anyway, Trader Joe's plant-based Bulgogi is pretty awesome and obviously is getting a lot of hits. People are curious about it. So this is a curious pairing about heart surgery and Bulgogi, but maybe not surprising. People want to protect the hearts they love, the people they love, and they're also wondering whether a plant-based yum-yum thing is worth trying. So I'm telling you, it is. Anyway, I have a long history in healthcare. I'm not in it exactly anymore, other than now I cook and create recipes and really look at how ways we can cook that are easier and accessible, and really for people over 50 like me who just, have to do this and not sure how to get started. So I'd like to think I'm here to help. But anyway, we have looked at normalizing heart procedures to the point of casualness. A stent, very routine. Open heart happens every day. Cardiac rehab, there's an app or a home version for that. But behind that breezy attitude that we have sits a really hard truth, in that cardiovascular disease rarely announces itself. It builds quietly and slowly, sometimes for decades. So, I do believe in science. I do believe in looking at research. And, heart disease is there. It's just a matter of when it manifests itself. I'm 66 years old, like I said. I've seen people retired. I've had a close friend who died in his sleep at 65 from a massive heart attack, really just after retirement. No warning. Bags were packed for a big trip the next morning with his lovely, wonderful spouse, who was a friend of mine. And it was just heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Kind of in the, he passed away, and I've had other friends since then as well have strokes and heart attacks and receive a stent, and it's just, we're kind of almost getting flippant about it, in my opinion. I'm glad there are interventions, don't get me wrong. I worked open heart recovery and cardiac and pulmonary rehab, so I'm glad there are interventions, but this is probably the one area of healthcare that we can prevent. Because the heartbreak isn't just the loss, it's knowing how many people eating the standard American diet are walking around with undetected cardiovascular disease, often for years, fueled by decades of this diet, and sometimes amplified by genetics. Certainly there's a genetic component. My husband has an elevated LP(a). I'm shocked with the amount of heart disease and diabetes in my family, just totally shocked on that one. So heart disease doesn't just appear, it accumulates. And so while its debut may be dramatic, its development is anything but sudden. What we just think it is because it's a heart attack. But there are other little cues that are also there and ways that we can monitor it, again, with good lab work and some diagnostic studies. But the hopeful twist is lifestyle changes can slow it down. It can soften it and sometimes even reverse its course. Lots of books out there on that. So we think about hypertension as well. It's almost the first whisper sometimes, but sometimes people don't have it. But I've heard clinicians tell my friends, everyone gets high blood pressure, it's treatable. Well, that's pretty global. Not everyone does. When I'm doing this podcast, about 60% of adults develop hypertension, but that means 40% don't. So which group do you want to live in? So when open heart surgery does happen, hospitals really want you to go home as soon as you're medically stable. I know this. My husband had a open heart surgery for a valve repair. And then also, I have a little bit of experience in this. It's been a long time, but I've worked open heart recovery. I've worked cardiac and pulmonary rehab. I see what's going on with my peers when they go in for open heart surgery. And, mortality metrics matter. Length of stay matters to these quality measures. And they want you alive and recovering and out the door, but that doesn't mean you or your family really feel ready. So if you want to know how to take care of your spouse or loved one, I made some notes on that. Having gone through a very interesting experience when I thought healthcare was doing a little bit better, but families are required to do more now. So this brings me to lifestyle, and it brings me to food, which is my current passion, and specifically tofu. The Western diet is a tangle of protein myths, food deserts, limited cooking skills, and hyper-palatable, ultra-processed foods engineered to keep us coming back for more. We all know this right there. This is why we love those yummy, crunchy things and savory things and sweet things that are prepackaged. So no wonder people struggle to slow down, cook simply, and eat in a way that supports their hearts. And that's what I hope I'm doing, is we're talking tofu, because it's one of the most underrated tools we have. Yeah, it's mild. Yeah, it needs seasoning. Yeah, the first time you eat it, it just kind of feels like white. Not sure what white, but white. Honestly, when you think about animal protein, yeah, there's a lot of glutamates and so forth in it that make it taste wonderful, goes right to your brain and goes awesome. But the reality is, when was the last time you ate chicken, pork, beef, or lamb without a marinade, rub, glaze, crust, or a sauce? We glorify slow braised meats that require enormous resources, water, land, energy, even oven time. Yet we wrinkle our nose at giving tofu the same culinary attention. And I'm going to tell you, I used to make a pretty darn good porchetta. I used to slow roast a pork shoulder. I absolutely loved slow roasting a chuck roast. I mean, it was slow and go and moist and tender. I could do it. But the reality is, it had a lot of aromatics on it. It had a lot of seasonings. It had herbs. And let's think about tofu in that manner. So let's think about it. How much time, energy, and cleanup go into animal products? Tofu offers the same creative canvas with far less environmental cost and none of the kitchen carnage. There's no bones, there's no blood, there's no what do I do with this? There's really no waste. And the variety is delightful. You get silken, soft, medium, firm, extra firm, fermented sheets, yuba, and more. There is a tofu for every task, including my current obsession, tofu yogurt, which is so easy. If you have an Instapot, you will never go back to eating either dairy or any of the other products that are on the market. Okay, you might. I have my favorites. But honestly, I kind of get tired of coconut this and almond that, when soy, which is basically taking soybeans that we feed to animals and bypassing that whole process, making it into tofu, and then taking that and fermenting it in an Instapot with literally no work because it's in an Instapot for 18 hours. And then you might strain it if that's what you so desire. It makes the most wonderful protein-rich yogurt. You'll love it. I love it. I don't even go back to, unless I'm out vacationing or need another resource, I don't buy store-bought yogurt anymore. You can make yogurt at home with tofu with no stabilizers. And not that I don't love stabilizers, because they do have a place in any kind of cooking and kind of fun cooking. But yeah, tofu yogurt. So if you want to explore more about tofu, there's a really great website called Tofuture. I know I should be touting my own website, but I'm going to tell you, Tofuture, Tofuture, has a piece how tofu can help feed the world sustainably. And that's extremely important. It's not just about the health, obviously, of course, I'm all about health, but just thinking about the environment and how tofu and soy can really help feed the world. We are estimated, I don't even remember now, it's 10 billion people, some incredible number, exponential number of people by 2050, which is now 25 years away. And if you're 66 like me, 25 years ago was year 2000, right? So thinking back, the year 2000, we had to deal with, oh my God, is my internet going to crash? We might also be thinking in 25 years, is there enough food supply? And I think that's very important. So yes, hop on the tofu train. It's kinder to your heart, gentler on the planet, and honestly, just fun to cook with. And yes, it is the other white meat indeed. So thanks for joining me. Just a heads up, I am going to be I'm going to be rebranding this website to the Silver Sprout. The Silver Sprout, where we are really targeting the mature population, 50 plus, people who need to make some lifestyle changes if we want to live longer, live healthier, live mindfulier. Is that a word? Mindfulier. Live better, have better cognition. And we do that by just eating more plants, whatever that looks like for you. And I'm here to help. So, signing out. Have a great day.